One of the biggest things, in fact, what I feel is the biggest problem with Xbox and Microsoft in today's day and age isn't the fact that it doesn't have exclusives or the hardware or anything like that. I think the biggest problem with Xbox, especially now, has always been the messaging. I don't know if it's just the fact that they have a massive corporation behind them with Microsoft, or there's just so much legalese going around as well in this space. But the thing is, what Microsoft says and what people understand are almost always two different things. And the messaging behind that can be a real big issue. And it's even more clear and apparent, like what we saw with yesterday's reviews of the Xbox ROG Ally X. Yes, I'm calling it an Xbox because it is in fact an Xbox, no matter what some pundit online tries to say. You see, we can even go earlier than that, though, mostly because it turns out that on Sunday, while I was on vacation for the past couple of days, everybody thought Xbox was dead once again. Ooh, you love to see it, right? Every Sunday, apparently, somebody's got to go out and get dragged out of bed to make a statement to Windows Central or any other major online corporation because of the fact that some idiot on Reddit or Twitter decided to run with a trust me bro kind of rumor, signifying that always Xbox dead. We had it from Sneakers SO a week back after Costco pulled their stock of Xboxes from the shelf, and now we have it this week after some Reddit bro who was allegedly working for Walmart and Target decided to go through and post a picture of an Xbox display on a pallet saying, "You guys, it's over. Xbox is getting pulled off the shelves. Everybody panic. Xbox done, baby." Look, I just honestly don't get it why this is a consistent thing over and over again, where we had to then turn around and Jez Corden had to get an article and also a quote saying this: "No, Target and Walmart are not removing Xbox products from their stores as Xbox misinformation reaches new levels. One thing after another, Microsoft is forced to respond and time again to ongoing rumors that it's leaving the hardware space." And this right here is exactly what I think the big problem is. There is so much talk and misinformation going around about Xbox in a consistent way that anything is honestly believed, at the fact that now any post on Reddit where the actual poster is not even verified to be working at these stores and is allegedly working there, and no one does any sort of journalistic integrity to find out what is in fact happening, goes through and makes a post on Reddit on a Sunday, back-to-back Sundays, by the way, to go ahead and say, "Hey, guys, Xbox is leaving hardware," while everybody spins up their channels, spins up their live streams, and says, "Boys, Xbox dead once again, baby. I was right about everything." And it's really the most ridiculous thing to see. How I do not understand how a company and corporation leaving the industry would in fact be a good thing for any of them. As fanboys, or should I say fan-grown adult men who are in their 30s and 40s acting like petulant children, cry, scream about Xbox, which is really the most wild thing. In fact, other articles have been written about this as well, as this phenomenon in fact continues. According to Pure Xbox, an article was written saying this: "Xbox journalist says latest rumors are a huge challenge for the brand right now. Some Xbox fans have been worried." And this is exactly what I feel is also the issue. The messaging has never been truly clear with Microsoft and with Xbox. And at the same time, all these insane rumors keep being spread around. And then when they reply to those rumors, people think, "Oh, it's fake, it's not real, they're just throwing out misinformation, they're trying to blind you, they lied to you about the just 4 games, they're gonna lie to you about this too." And it's a consistent thing that happens all the time, which causes nothing but FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And then at the same time, spreads more lies, and everything snowballs consistently over and over again. And again, like I said before, this all falls back onto the messaging. Hell, we could even point back to the reveal of the Xbox ROG Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X, where Sarah Bond said this:
"At Xbox, we strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years. We've led the industry with backward compatibility. We championed crossplay and cross-progression. We delivered Game Pass, first on console, then on PC, and with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect.
There really is no way to misconstrue that statement. Sarah Bond, Xbox, and Microsoft have been trying to do the one thing they've always thought of, which is to unify these entire ecosystems into one specific thing, provide you access to every game, whether it's natively on the device, through cloud streaming, or any other way specifically. And even though, in my opinion, this was incredibly clear of what Xbox is planning on doing in the future, this is exactly what I see the issue with being. People took these statements from Sarah Bond and made it think like every single game that Xbox ever made, from the OG Xbox all the way till now, are going to be playable on this device, even though she clearly said Windows being the best platform, even though she clearly talked about cloud and streaming and other ways of playing your entire library and unifying it all together. It's really just wild to me how people do not understand what this is in fact going to do and how this is going to be moving forward. Hell, even reviewers like Linus got it wrong. We're literally on yesterday's video, the thumbnail says not an Xbox, saying the Xbox ROG Ally X, a PC gamer's perspective, and then 4 months previously he says the first Xbox handheld. My boy, which one is it going to be? You had your hands on both of them at the same exact time. You knew exactly what they were doing. You knew they were Windows machines, yet now all of a sudden things change. 4 months later, plans change, and we don't really understand what is in fact happening. It's almost like people are truly not understanding what is in fact happening with this brand. Again, the messaging is the problem. In fact, here's Tom Warren tweeting this: Xbox Ally and Ally X review. This is not an Xbox. While these handhelds are comfortable to use, they run Windows, and they rarely let you forget that. Microsoft's Xbox plus Windows combo needs a lot more work. Our Xbox Ally X review is live now. And just to add more context, here's what he said in the article. They run Windows 11, meaning the Xbox Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X, and they never let you forget it. Not during their lengthy setup process, not when you're trying to navigate their menus, and not when you want the latest games to, quote, just work. They also don't play Xbox games designed for an Xbox console. Only Xbox games ported to PCs. When GTA 6 comes out, here we go again with GTA 6. Okay, let's keep going. Next May, without a PC version, you won't be playing it here, not unless you're streaming from the cloud. And this is really the part that kind of confuses me more than anything. A lot of people truly don't understand what in fact consoles are now today. Anyways, your console, all these Xbox Series X's, PS5 Pros, PS5s, Nintendo Switches, these aren't even consoles anymore. They are small, bespoke PCs that have their own UI, their own operating system, and their own pieces of hardware. You have to then download your own updates, update your operating system as well, have to pay for online and do everything else. What Xbox is doing right now is they're going to be unifying those systems all together, and that is my guess on the entire thing. People saying like, oh, this isn't an Xbox, truly don't understand what is in fact happening and what this Xbox ROG Ally truly represents. This is the simple first step in what's going to be happening with the future of video games on the Xbox side of things. And what you're going to be seeing is not an Xbox OS, but Windows as the OS. And the one thing Xbox has to nail to make this right in the first place is to have a dedicated layer like Proton on Steam and OS to play all those console games that you have in your digital library, whether it's from the Series X and S, the 360, or even the OG Xbox. Because we've talked about this before, since Sarah Bond is responsible for the backwards and forwards compatibility process of the Xbox brand already. And when you see all of these things being put together, Sarah Bond being part of backwards compatibility and even forward compatibility for the future, when you're looking at how they were talking about using Windows as the best place to play your games, when you look and see why they're working with Asus to make these PC-like devices more so than anything else before, you can start to understand this is an Xbox marketing that was happening prior, where people got really upset about that. Now look, this doesn't mean that Xbox is doing everything perfectly. Again, the messaging, not so great. At the same time, raising console prices, increasing Game Pass prices, also not great. But saying that this is not an Xbox truly makes no sense when the branding on the box literally says Xbox. And hell, if you really think that's crazy, the people at Good Morning America could also figure this out as well. According to Jez Corden on Twitter, Sarah Bond and Carl Ledbetter showed Good Morning America around the Xbox Hardware Labs to promote the Xbox Ally. This is where we're prototyping the next generation of Xbox. With Steven, Ghost of Yote, we already know where this is going and the kind of person this actually is. Right off the name handle, but let's keep going, shall we? In this video, they lie and say you can play Xbox console games on it, LOL. They also say you have your full high-fidelity library available on it. You don't. As I stated a while back, it only plays 8% of my library, and it's the PC version of those games anyway. And this is where I think a lot of people are in fact either getting confused, don't understand what's in fact happening, or are truly being on their own completely incompetent in having a logical thought. The fact is, what Microsoft is trying to do is unify everything together under the Windows system. And unfortunately, people in the console space are so stuck on it has to be a console, it's not a PC, there's no way it can be a PC, it's only this and this thing only, and if it doesn't do exactly what I want in this space, then it doesn't really fucking matter now, does it? I think is the most idiotic thing ever. This is a big reason why people don't switch over to PC gaming as well. And honestly, if they're going to act this way, stay on console. Just stay there. You don't want to come over here. You guys will lose your minds. Simply at the fact that having the PC version is almost always better in every way than having a console version of a video game. And of course, when people try to get clarification on what he means, this is what he says. Steven continues by saying, it's so frustrating because it could be a fine device on its own capabilities, but they are desperate to sell you as in quote Xbox. It's not. It does not have my full library on it, not even close, and that is likely true for the majority of primary Xbox gamers that might pick one of these up, so flat out lying about it on the news is crazy to me. With Alaith replying, I have no idea about any of this, but can you please explain what you mean? Does it not just have games, period? Or is it like they have them, but it's cloud only, which would be terrible? Thanks. Steven responds by saying, it only natively plays games available on Windows. With Powerboss responding, so name the games it can't play at all. Steven finally says, why? It's a lot. Go look it up yourself. And this is the funniest thing I've honestly ever seen. It's not the first example we're going to see of this either. The fact that people are walking around saying, oh, it doesn't play my entire Xbox library, therefore it's not an Xbox. And what they really mean is, well, it can't play my 360 games, it can't play my OG Xbox games, and it can't play some of my third-party games that aren't play anywhere that I only bought on Xbox, even though you could just stream them from your console to your Xbox ROG Ally if you wanted to, or play them in the cloud if that's a necessary thing, which is the only thing they have right now for some games, and Play Anywhere has been expanding on its own consistently. That's exactly what they mean. And by this example, you can clearly say that the PS5 isn't a PlayStation because it doesn't play my PS3 games, it doesn't play my PS2 games, it sure shit doesn't play my PS1 games. In fact, by that logic, the best PlayStation ever made and the only PlayStations ever made are the PS3 Fat, the 80 gig version that can play PS3, PS2 and PS1, or the PlayStation 2, which can play PS2 and PS1 games. People are wanting to go through and have this entire library catalog of their games stacked together in one space, which honestly I think would be incredibly cool to have. I'm not going to deny that. But to say something is not an Xbox when it is branded as an Xbox, even though it does not fit your strange definition of what you can actually play for your games, really is insane to me. And even then, after Sarah Bond herself also exclaimed, hey, this is a Windows device, we're going to make Windows the best place to play, we're going to go ahead and do our PC thing, people still want to have this console-like mentality. And it really goes to show no one truly understands what is in fact happening at Xbox. We're not talking about console sales anymore. We're talking about platform in the first place, where the actual space that you're trying to get into is no longer about going through and saying, I have my disc, I put disc in console, console turns on. That is gone and done with. That's been done with since the PS3. Now it's you put disc in console, get update, download game, download update again, have game patched, and finally get 1.0 version that you can actually play because there's only like 80 megabytes of the game on the actual fucking disc in the first place. Here's Gaz on Twitter saying this: the reviews I've seen really praise the integration, ease of use, and navigation of the different storefronts like Steam. The new Xbox console doing this well could make it a really worthwhile purchase for PC users looking to extend their experience to the living room. It's like he gets it. It's like he gets it. He's the only one that has actually understood what is in fact happening. Gaz understood the assignment. What Xbox is trying to do is create that PC living room ecosystem where they're putting them together, where they're going through and saying, no, don't buy your games on Steam or GOG. We'll give you access to those libraries if you want to, though. But if you buy it on the Xbox app, you have access to it on whatever device you want. Meaning, this is an Xbox is exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to be a console fanboy. They want you to be in their digital storefront. Remember, even Phil said it himself. They lost the biggest generation to lose when people were building their digital library. So what they're doing now is they're enticing you to build your digital library on Xbox, not by selling the newest hardcore console system, playing all my old Xbox games. What they want to do is go through and say, hey, if you go ahead and you buy it here, we have all these devices, we have all these services, we have all these places you can play your game that you buy from this library. So you can do it here. And also, we're going to be the good guys, and we're going to give you access to every other storefront you buy your games on, which means you don't have to worry about going to Bazite or SteamOS. You can stay on Windows and be part of our billions of users on a daily basis where we collect your telemetry and your data. That's what they want. These idiots online who are trying to be like, oh, it's not an Xbox because they don't play my console Xbox games. If you're thinking that, then you are incredibly narrow-minded in the scope of what Xbox is in fact trying to pull off. And what they're trying to pull off, if they do it right, is going to be an insane shift in the gaming space. But the best part is the replies to this tweet. GameCat White Tiger says, quote, Xbox console, laughing, crying emoji, with Gaz asking what is the question about this, and his response saying, new Xbox console that can play Xbox games, clown emoji, such as Master Chief Collection, more expensive than the PS5 Pro, 30 FPS, peak gaming, clown emoji, with Gaz saying the new Xbox console won't play Xbox games. I don't think you've used enough clown emojis, with the response saying, maybe if you take your head out of the $4 trillion company's ass, you will do some research and realize that Xbox games that aren't play anywhere won't work on this $1,000 Xbox. He just called it an Xbox, by the way, which is the funniest thing of all time, really negating your own argument, but hey, we'll continue. And Gaz saying, if you stop being a prostitute for PlayStation for 1 second, you'll reread the post and understand what is actually being said, you lemming. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. The people trying to criticize this, the people that say, oh, it's not an Xbox, do not understand the path that Microsoft is in fact taking. The console wars are over. We are now into the platform wars. What you're going to be seeing are specific things. You're going to be seeing a lot of OEM devices, basically manufactured by Asus, Lenovo, Samsung, etc., with the Xbox branding on them. You're going to be seeing Microsoft integrate Windows far better into those gaming devices as well, because they want to keep you in that ecosystem. And hopefully, if they pull this off, I don't know if they're going to do it or not well, but if they pull it off where you can actually have and download all your digital library from previous Xbox generations onto those Windows devices in their game mode with a compatibility layer, then you're going to have a far better experience overall. So all those console games you bought digitally, they want to go through and have you get access to them. If, and I mean a big if, they pull it off correctly with Sarabon's backwards compatibility team. This could be a huge differentiator in the space and keep people from moving over to Bazite and SteamOS, where they are literally getting trounced by those other OSs that are free, open source, and run games infinitely better. Hell, I'm not the only one that thinks it, because it turns out the Xbox ROG Ally X sold out. According to Wario64, the ROG Xbox Ally X, available to order at Best Buy for $1,000, is new orders shipping by December 12th. The Xbox ROG Ally at $600 is out tomorrow. So look at that. It turns out that a $1,000 not an Xbox is selling pretty well, apparently. And the white model, which really you should just buy a Steam Deck OLED instead, isn't really on to par with what's been going on in terms of sales. Again, I really feel the pricing on these models should have been a lot better, but it goes to show there is a market for this. And it also means if Xbox's next console can do the exact same thing and have the backwards compatibility that they're looking forward, you're going to be seeing a very different platform war than you're seeing right now, instead of people being stuck in the console war. And I think that's going to be the funniest thing to watch. And I think this is exactly what people are missing in this space. They're looking at things from what we saw back in the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. It has to be a console. It's got to be a dedicated box. It has to be this specific thing. And I think what happened was, after the Xbox One debacle with Don Matrix saying, hey, if you don't have internet, we've got a device for you, and everybody switching over to the PS4, when they realized, 80% of PS4 and PS5 games are bought digitally, and it's harder to pull people away from a digital platform than it is to just sell a console, which is why when Phil Spencer said we lost the worst generation to lose, it goes to show this is the new plan moving forward. It's not a console war anymore. It's a platform war. And what people are missing when they say things like this is not an Xbox, even though clearly it is an Xbox, it's got the branding of it, it plays Xbox games, it also plays every other game and everything else in between, you're going to be seeing people try to go ahead and not understand the concept and be purposefully obtuse, when in reality what's happening is they're going to make everything into an Xbox. And when I say everything, I mean everything that runs Windows. And the way they're going to do it is by doing two specific things. They're going to cater to the PC gamer crowd who don't want to buy consoles and like the open platform style of actual PC gaming, but also keep them on Windows so they can actually fight against Steam and buy games specifically on the Xbox app instead, and coerce them into doing it that way, either by giving you the option and saying, hey, if you want to go ahead and have a more powerful Steam Deck, we've got our Asus Xbox ROG Ally X. Buy your games there. We're going to load up any other storefront that you want so we can keep everything open like you're purposely used to on the PC gaming space. But also, hey, buy it on the Xbox side, because you may want to go ahead and get yourself an Xbox console next gen when we do the exact same thing. Don't want to be stuck at your desk all day? Get a console this way instead. It's also a PC, so everything stays the same. And that'll give you a better reason to buy on the Xbox PC app rather than buying it on Steam, even though it is incredibly ubiquitous. So they're trying to coerce people that way. At the same time, though, they're converting the console gamers into Windows users. 30 million sales in the Xbox console space, every game bought digitally. Well, now you have access to every other storefront as well. Don't go to the other platform. You've got a library right here, access to everything right together, and even other storefronts too. Give us your telemetry, give us your data. We're a platform now. We want everything, not just some things. And I think when you put all those pieces together, that is exactly what people are missing. People are too concerned with their back compatible library, even though you can just emulate everything on those devices anyways, and they're too concerned with the naming convention of what they feel a console should be. They're missing the bigger picture of the platform war that is heading their way. And I think that is going to be one of the big things to watch out for. So you know what? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. Did you get yourself a ROG Ally X? Did you not get one? Did you get a regular Ally? Or are you staying with your Steam Deck and everything else? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this as well. If you want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and live streams every Saturday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 96K, and I just want to say thank you guys so very much. If you want Discord access or most during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Just come on down Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on this channel for a hell of a show as I get insulted by 700 people while wearing a banana suit with AITTS. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!